fighting?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. There was never
no.
a time that you ever thought about it, or you were active.
Hell yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, back in like the late '80s, the early '90s, that's when I was kickboxing a lot. I even sparred Hoist Gracie in 1991, alone in
I
his
kind of remember the
dojo.
kickboxing.
Yeah, the
So
kickboxing my thing. I talked to K1. It's funny. I was talking to Tyron Woodley this morning about that. I happened to see him when I was training, and it was about, I would say, probably 16, 17 years ago. Scott Coker and I were talking about the fact that maybe I would come in and do a K1 fight because I'm an old-time kickboxer. I mean, that's pretty much what I excel
yeah.
at, aside from my standard, the black belts I hold in traditional martial arts. But I did seriously think about it, yes, but it just didn't come to fruition. I always wanted to have one pro fight, and when that occurred back when I was 32, I was training for it, and I was concussed pretty bad. And the doctor he was aware it was my second or third concussion, and I was immediately ordered to stop. Don't even go there. Just I've been doing it too long,
Gotcha.
too much. And he said, Bruce, you're not making the money. You're making your money doing your businesses. He goes, can I give you a bit of advice? Stop. In 10 years, you're going to have a real problem if you keep up the pace or keep it up. So that was pretty much the end of it for me back then. Yeah. But it would have been nice to have one.
That was a question I always had for you. I was curious about that because you're so involved in the sport. I mean, since I can remember back. So I was just always curious, and I knew you have that competitive side in the history in the kickboxing. So I was always just curious why you never kind of stepped over and gave it a whirl.
I don't know, TJ. I think Shannon's thinking about a headliner or maybe a nice little celebrity pro event for one of the 8 Invicta shows.
Wouldn't that be cool? Celebrity event for charity. We do something like that. That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Not bad. Get my face bust open for charity. I love it. Yeah, really cool. Let's blow the other ACL. Got it.
Just for a good cause. It's all for a good cause.
If Shannon, if it's for a good cause, give me a call and maybe I'll be in. Let's just put it that way.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
All right, Shannon. I appreciate it. Listen, I want to wish you the best of success in 2018 and health and prosperity.
Thank you.
All the good things I could possibly wish you. I want to thank you for being a pioneer in our great sport and doing all that you've done, especially for the female fighters and everything else you've accomplished. So kudos to you, and I just wish you all the best.
Thank you, Bruce.
Absolutely.
Same to you. Same to you. And thank you. Thank you for having me on and supporting us. We appreciate it.
My pleasure. I'll support you all the time. Anytime you need my help for anything, you let me know, as long as it doesn't interfere with my contract with the UFC. So it's all good.
There you go.
All right.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Real quick before Shannon goes, January 13th, Kansas City, Missouri, Invicta FC 27. Sarah Kaufman returns to Invicta to take on Pani Kianzad. You can watch it live on UFC Fight Pass. It's a really good card. I'm excited.
It's going to be a good one. You won't want to miss it.
That's the way. That's the way to promote, Shannon. Tell them about it.
That it is. That's it. It's going to be a good one. I promise.
All right, Shannon. Thank you so much for the time.
All right. Take care, guys. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Shannon. Big cheers to you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I love when you have those kind of interviews, Bruce, because I just get to sit back and listen.
Yeah, you know, it's I have no problem with that because Shannon makes it easy. I mean, let's face it, this woman works hard, and she provides a lot of avenues for the female up-and-coming, MMA fighters. And I used to say I was always worried, was there a deep enough bench when female MMA was created in the UFC? And the bottom line is, it's due to people like Shannon that allows us to have the bench as deep as it is.
Yeah, I mean, dare I say it, without Shannon Knapp, I don't know if the UFC would have been able to grow the divisions like they have. I mean, to have as many women's divisions as you guys have now. 4. There are 4 women's divisions inside the UFC. Think about that. When I first started watching mixed martial arts, there were only 4 or 5 divisions in the UFC, period. Now we have 4 women's divisions, and that's a really big deal. So, without Shannon Knapp and Invicta Fighting Championships, we probably still only have, maybe 1 or 2.
Absolutely. Yeah, so kudos to her. And like I said, everybody's a pioneer. We're all trying to do what we do. You are too. I consider myself too, being in this business for 22 years come February. So all good. Now, speaking of future, as reported today that Dana White's meeting with Floyd Mayweather's camp today about a possible UFC fight, octagon fight in 2018. Mm-hmm. So, I read about this and you wonder, people trying to stay relevant and anything else. All I can go back on is the fact that a year ago, 8 months ago, we were all questioning would there be a Conor McGregor-Floyd Mayweather fight, and it happened. So anything can happen. I can't rule it out. But I don't want to predict as much as say an observation. With Floyd not having any kind of training unless he trains with the sprawl and does what he needs to do to survive, I just don't see a fight with Floyd Mayweather in the octagon under MMA rules going very far. But it all depends on the opponent they choose.
I do.
Well,
I know who
tell me.
Have we not talked about this yet? I thought we talked about this. Maybe
we touched on it, and you said about changing the rules, and I said no, not
needed. I figured out the proper opponent for Floyd.
Go.
CM Punk.
It's funny you say that because that's what I was thinking too. It's funny you say that.
I said it on Twitter last week.
I didn't see the Twitter post you made, but is it true? Is the scuttlebutt true that they're going to give CM Punk, I think he had a 2-fight deal or 3-fight deal. Is it true they're going to let him come back and fight after that showing against, that he had before?
Does the UFC like to make money?
Yes.
Does Floyd Mayweather make money?
Absolutely.
Does CM Punk make money?
Absolutely.
There you go. Absolutely.
Money talks, people walk. I got it. It's a saying I said when they were talking to me about Manny Pacquiao wanting to fight Conor last week or on TMZ. That got a lot of legs around the world on that one. But I think I mentioned to you that, people in his camp are calling me, and I'm like, don't call me. I'm not the one to call. Call the people you have to call. So who knows? You know what it is? The whole boxing thing, you already know this, the whole boxing thing with Conor and Floyd, it just opened up a whole nother avenue. It actually made boxing even more relevant, I think, in a lot of people that are MMA fans' eyes to start paying attention to it. And now the UFC is thinking about doing boxing fights. Boxers, I've said it before, you get a top-notch boxer. I'm not talking about James Toney. Okay, that was a bit of a farce in the way it panned out. Sorry I said that word, but it's true. You get a fighter in there that can really show his own and hold their meat in the octagon. The bottom line is that it could be very exciting, drawing a lot of eyeballs from the boxing fans to us, as boxing drew a lot of MMA eyeballs to boxing the night that Conor fought Floyd. So it's all good stuff, and I have no problem if any of it's made. I have no problem. I don't want to hear about, oh, he's not a mixed martial arts fighter. Oh, he's not this. You know what? The UFC started on the fact about styles, fighting styles, who has the best style. And then it became mixed martial arts. It was blood sport back in the early days. Then it became mixed martial arts. You had the guy walk in with the one boxing glove against Hoist. It's far beyond that now. There are boxers that can survive in the octagon, if not win, depending on how they train for the 3 months or 2 months previous to the time they walk into the cage. Do you agree or disagree? Or do you think it's just totally boxers will always lose?
I think if you're a straight boxer, you're always going to lose. But I don't really still know what CM Punk is. What is CM Punk? All right, we don't know anything about him, so I think it's a fair matchup. That's why I think those two should fight. If you come in and you plan on having a long mixed martial arts career, being a straight boxer, it's not going to happen. You need to be a well-rounded mixed martial artist. I don't know if CM Punk is a well-rounded mixed martial artist. I would love to see that fight. That's the only fight I want to see. It's the only fight that makes sense because it'll make a crap ton of money, and that's that, man.
Yeah. But CM Punk is a wrestler turned MMA fighter.
No. I mean, yes, but don't confuse the
wrestling
word
with
wrestler
wrestling.
with wrestling. Yeah, exactly right, exactly
right. Entertainment wrestler turned MMA fighter. How's that?
He's a stunt man.
Okay, another way to put it too. All right, we'll see what happens. Now, also this weekend, there's a lot of stuff going on in Las Vegas. Las Vegas, because of the incident that happened with the mass killings that happened, recently in Las Vegas. They're adding snipers. I mean, there's going to be snipers on buildings all over Las Vegas this weekend because New Year's is one of the biggest weekends happening in Las Vegas. So they're really putting the extra security. I guess it's needed. What can I say?
You better hope that they're all sane, rational human beings. That's a tremendous amount of pressure to be a sniper and making sure that people are safe. You know what I mean? Like any sort of wrong type of movement mixed with like a false report could make one of those guys make a poor decision. Do you know what I mean? Like that's scary to me.
Yes, but here's the thing. Brian, my brother, was a trained SWAT sniper, military trained for years with the Redondo Beach Police Force. And when the sniper's in position, it's not that he's the one that's going to make that decision to pull that trigger. Somebody else makes that decision for him, gives him the red light or the green light to pull that trigger. It's not like they're going to see something and react. They have to report. A decision will be made quickly. So there's not just that one sniper's, mind working. There's the people above him, the people that are watching over him, and the situation he's in. Plus the fact, too, snipers are a very rare breed. It's like even in a sniper rifle, like back in World War II when rifles were picked to be sniper rifles, maybe 1 out of 1,000 rifles produced was actually used for that. In the same respect, people that go into being a sniper, not everybody is capable of being a sniper. These are very highly trained, unique individuals, patience level beyond belief as they have to be to do that job. They're very unique individuals. So I hope and would think with all the training they receive, we're okay. It's a matter of who says green light or whatever the term is, take them out. So let's just hope nothing happens. It's just peaceful. I can understand why they're doing this, and we'll leave it at that.